COVID hit last year, just about this time, teachers, staff, and students experienced an incredible disruption to their daily routines in school, and ever since have been adapting and adjusting to the challenges that came with the pandemic. Many districts have worked hard to create strong learning experiences for their students, but I think we all agree there's no substitute for in-person learning, especially for kids in elementary school. Our administration's been clear for months that the best place for kids is in the classroom. And today, Commissioner Riley started a process working with the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education to get more kids back into the classroom full-time by phasing out remote-only learning in April. Commissioner discussed the process, which will start with elementary school students, with the board this morning, and we hope to be moving ahead soon. We know the pandemic's been difficult on everyone, but it's been really tough on kids and their parents as they struggle to be out of the classroom and detached from their teachers and their peers. Many districts have been increasing classroom time. Currently, about 80% of districts have in-person learning, whether hybrid or fully in-person. Districts with in-person learning, regardless of how high COVID transmission is in their community, have seen few, if any, examples of in-school transmission. With the proper mitigation strategies in place, developed by our administration with leading medical professionals, schools across the Commonwealth have been able to safely welcome kids back to the classroom for many months now. There are still approximately 20% of districts that are still learning fully remote. This affects roughly 400,000 kids, most of whom haven't been in a classroom since last March. With COVID cases and hospitalizations continuing to decline and vaccines well underway, it's time to set our sights on eliminating remote learning by April and starting with elementary schools. And the districts need clear direction about what will count as acceptable learning time as the Commonwealth moves forward. We've seen the repercussions of prolonged remote learning for our kids. Their social, mental, and emotional well-being has been significantly impacted. Kids want to be in school, learning alongside their friends, their classmates, and their peers. They want to have a chance to engage their teachers in person, time and time again, and especially when they have challenges associated with understanding the material. Science is pretty clear on this one. There are now dozens of reports from all over the world that it's safe to be in school, and doctors and public health experts, including Dr. Fauci, all agree that getting kids back in school needs to be a top priority. We've committed funding, resources, and supports to schools and districts to return to classrooms. And last month, we launched a first-in-the-nation weekly surveillance testing program for students, teachers, and staff that has begun rolling out statewide. Approximately 900 schools and nearly 300 students, staffs, and teachers are already participating in the program and will continue to scale up their testing capabilities over the course of the next several weeks. Superintendents and their staff in those schools have done a great job implementing this pooled testing initiative. DESE's provided hundreds of pages of extensive public health and safety guidance to guide school officials on how to safely reopen, including mitigation protocols, COVID response scenarios for schools, and transportation guidance. The guidance is extensive and was endorsed by the Massachusetts chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Collectively, we've invested about $1 billion in COVID-related funding and supports for schools across the Commonwealth. We also launched a rapid testing initiative for students and staff who are asymptomatic, provided at no cost to schools, which provides accurate results within 15 minutes. And DESE's work to continuously provide schools and staff with PPE and supplies like air purifiers. Throughout the pandemic, our administration's worked diligently to build an arsenal of tools for our schools to safely teach kids in the classroom so they can get the education that they deserve. And the evidence on this one is crystal clear and has been for months. safe to teach kids in the classroom, regardless of community transmission rates, as long as people abide by the protocols.